not a streamer, but I see all these people complaining about the huntress. I mean, classes in general. To me, it seems no different than 0.1 revisions. I mean, this weapon's kind of okay. It's not anything super special. I mean, my gear is mostly junk. Blues, and I'm playing solo self-found, and the huntress just feels like it actually just deletes things too easily, maybe?
Picking up a storm.
I don't... People are talking about taking minutes to clear white mobs. I mean, I don't understand. Tornadoes are mostly clearing entire screens. I'm just running whirling slash, spear field, tornado mostly, regular auto attacks. I mean, this is not supposed to be endgame mapping. You know, level 19, Act 2. I mean, this is the same as it was in 0.1, which I personally like. Some people think it was too slow then too. I'm not a fan of the POE1 zoom, 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 zoom. There's a lot of skills that you can use or not use, kind of like most of the classes. I have a lot of skills on my bar that I don't really use very much. And it's, I would say that it's somewhat important in the Huntress to make use of alternating melee and projectile damage, because we have this fat node here, 30% increased melee and projectile damage if you've used the other in the last 8 seconds. And then we have a bunch of these other nodes, 30% projectile damage and 30% melee damage if you've used the other in 8 seconds, plus this whole projectiles fork and melee range increase. The melee range increase isn't that big of a deal. So basically, you have to be switching back and forth every 8 seconds. I just took, you know, nothing special, just damage straight down. I took this extra, you know, damage against blinded enemies because I'm running whirling slash, which is blinding them. And then, I mean, eventually here I'm going to go and, I don't know, probably get these attack damage nodes. But nothing, I mean, I'm not inventing any fancy, crazy build or anything. I mean, these are blue mobs, so I expect like a teeny bit of a fight.
The wind howls.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite class to play at the moment. I mean, that's not, I don't really have an opinion yet. It has some advantages, some disadvantages. I'm using, when things get a little heavy, I drop the spear field. I'm using a, an offhand, quarterstaff to be able to staggering palm, just because it's a little bit longer range and more reliable form of dash if I need to get far across a map, or if I want to stagger at a limit that is staggerable. But other than that, I mean, it's not necessary. It's just I also, I'm not using parry, you may know this. I'm using a regular shield because I just find that parry against most of these mobs isn't really useful when they die so fast. And so I take the better stats of a regular shield. I think that there probably is some elite or boss parry playstyle that will kill them a little bit easier to get into the parry mechanics. I just tried it a little bit and found that too often I was holding parry and standing there and waiting for something to hit me, and it wasn't very fun. So, I mean, there's a...
Perhaps that is true. Oppressor.
The class also really staggers quickly because so much of the stuff is physical.
Be breath. Slow down.
And when you have to get away, I mean, I actually should have done it at that moment, but when you have to, I was trying to show off spear. If you have to fight from a distance, spear actually does a surprising amount of damage. I was not playing the fight properly there because I was trying to show off the damage of ranged spear in a fight where I shouldn't really be that far from the boss. But the point is, when you do have to be far from something, ranged throw is quite a lot of damage.
One survivor out of 100. Thousands
And
even.
can stun enemies pretty well. So, I mean, did I do anything fancy here? Not really. I mean, spear step tempo, pursuit. It's like basically doubling down on the notion of switching back and forth between melee and projectiles. And the same thing, I have +1 chain, so it chains 1 anyway, and then if it triggers that other passive skill tree, it chains 2. Twister, I give a chance to poison because it's doing physical damage, so we'll might as well get poison and bleeding triggered by the physical damage, because as far as I know, the actual proc size scales with the physical damage done by the skill. So because Twister forks, you know, into multiple pieces and hits a lot of enemies and goes right through enemies, this just gives you a lot of chance to dot up a lot of things with a lot of affliction. And then Spear Field, I just put slow magnitude on so that when I'm dropping it down, it makes enemies move a little slower. Stormlance I don't use very much, only on bosses, because it just allows me to throw a bunch of, you know, lightning spears in the ground and then they do damage while I'm running around or something instead of getting nothing done. And I have execute on it because why not? I don't really have any other big thing. And I'm running Ghost Dance for survivability, which is some of the reason that even when I got harrowingly low on health there, I didn't die, because at least I have something mitigating some damage. Anyway, I don't know. Huntress seems fine to me.